yours is kinda tilted. The foundation is strong because Jehovah built it. You can feel the spirit and positive energy. Questions asked comfortably like you're talking with family. Get ready to settle in. Wait for the show to begin. Invite a couple of friends. It's time for Unhinged.
Introduce to you Get You Home Towing, a family company with the sole purpose to get you home. Whether you need roadside assistance or transport services, we have a flatbed big enough to transport any vehicle to its destination. Our offer to you is our gratitude and great service at a much cheaper price. We are also open to transport through long distances. If you need us, all you have to do is call that number. I'll see you soon.
How y'all doing? Y'all all right? I mean, what's really going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. You've tuned in to Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, and I'm sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads, LLC. And baby, we've got a great show in store for you all tonight. But before we get into it, I want to go ahead and say hola, hello, welcome, and thank you to each and every one of you who are joining us on the replay. We hope you enjoy tonight's conversation. And judging from the energy coming from our guest who's waiting for us backstage right now, this show is going to be filled with shenanigans. All right. So before we get into it, of course, we're going to do things a little bit differently on tonight. I want to go ahead and ask my good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell, how you doing, sis? How you doing?
I am doing amazing. I think that this is our last, if I say cold day, for a little while. So we're going to be having the upper temperatures over the next couple of days. And if you know anything about me, Tilted, you know I'm solar powered, so I'm excited. I am elated to have the opportunity and just the prospect to get out in the sunshine, get those sun rays, so that we can keep this beam on beaming. On top of that, I got family in town. They probably eating me at a house and home as we speak, right? So I'm trying to keep a tab on. Well, let me keep the good stuff. So I'm just gonna get the secret. The good stuff is in my office with me right now, so that don't nothing come up missing by accident. Nobody can't find nothing because it's in here safe with me during the show. Now, I'm probably not going to share. So there's that. I told y'all earlier in another live that I was working on kindness, but we didn't get to the sharing part for my stuff yet, but it's safe and sound in here with me. That's all that I could say for that. So the rest of everything else, I wish everybody well. I gave them one assignment. Why? Because the show must go on, especially when we have our family returning, right? And not just family out here, but we got family on the show today. And so it was like, yeah, we're not gonna miss this one. Why? Because the people needs our energies today with everything going on.
Absolutely.
So we came here to give the people what they need, not even what they want. Give the people what they need. But you know how I always do, Tilted, right? I appreciate you checking on me. Nobody don't check on me like you check on me. And I checked on you earlier today. I think that was today. That might have been yesterday. I honestly do not remember what day it was. But I'm going to do a check-in right now, as I often do with my good girlfriend Tilted, and ask you the question, how you doing?
Girl, I'm all right. I mean, first of all, you gave me a little bit of an attitude problem because you chose violence today by getting on screen with that little sleeveless shirt you got on. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in front of a camera in a 35-degree weather zone. I got on a sweater. I got on a canvas jacket. I got a blankie on my lap. I'm sitting here wrapped up like grandmama, literally. And you're sitting here throwing it in my face that the warmer weather is going to impact your region faster than it's going to get to me. I'm feeling some type of way about that. Yeah. You done started these petty problems early on tonight, Karen. But yeah, other than that, now that I've vented, because I believe venting is healthy, I'm actually doing okay. Yeah, I'm keeping up with the cares of life and taking things as they come. And, I'm just getting ready for this weekend. It seems like there's a whole lot going on here in the Lehigh Valley area. And you never know where you might run into me out here in these Lehigh Valley streets. So before we bring in tonight's guest, he all right, he down there with you, so he warm. So I ain't got to worry about him being cold outside on the porch waiting. All right. So I got to go ahead and get into tonight's Superfan shout out, Karen. I got to get into that. I want to thank you for helping me, because I don't quite remember if it was this morning that you checked on me or not either. So we there today. It's just a whole lot of excitement. Yeah, it's a whole lot of excitement. We got the Superfan shout out coming up, and it's also your birthday month. That's another reason why the energy is flowing, because we are celebrating you for 31 days. 31 days of Karen, baby. 31
Come
days.
on now, put it on a t-shirt.
Get the t-shirt. Get the t-shirt. 31 days of Karen. That's right. That's right. So look, we're going to get into tonight's Superfan shout out. And tonight's Superfan shout out is our little sister, Karen. Now, we have known her since she was a youngin', sporting her tribute bow tie, literally, on her church's worship team. I remember when we first made her acquaintance working with KJP Productions. We saw this wonderfully talented creature just come into the room and pirouette and split and kick and sing notes that no man has reached before with their vocal cords. I am talking about our very own Juanita Renee Gray. That's right. Got to give a shout out to our girl Juanita and the great things that she's doing here in the area and beyond. That's right. Clap it up for our sister. Clap it up, because she absolutely deserves every single flower that's coming her way. So check it out. She and our other sister, Veronica Cummings, are co-producing and directing the upcoming family reunion production that's going to be taking place here in the Lehigh Valley area at the Civic Theater of Allentown. So check it out, y'all. We're going to put some little information out here so y'all can see that it's going to be a whole lot of people over there at the cookout. It's going to be a lot of people over there at the cookout. And if you take a gander at the flyer, you might see quite a few faces that you recognize. That's right. The family reunion production is happening March 21st at 7:30 p.m. Allentown Civic Theater, Allentown, Pennsylvania. The barcode is there. Y'all know we sharing it. We've got singers, we've got poets, we've got dancers, we've got a live band, and baby, we got one of the best DJs in the area on the ones and twos. I'm talking about Raga. That's right. DJ Raga Dawn, our brother, our Interstar brother, will be on the ones and twos rocking it out that night. I'm sorry. And check this one out. Though it's not on that particular flyer, our brother Corey Brown is the music director.
I saw.
Yes. The maestro himself is going to be killing it on the keys.
Come on.
All right. And you can only imagine my excitement, Karen, when I walked into the theater and there he was, as humble as can be.
Yes.
We already know how he's going to set those keys ablaze and give the people what they need at the family reunion. Yes. Listen, I don't want to sing it because, YouTube got at us last week for.
They got rules.
they got rules, and now they watching us, they listening for us. But yeah, shout out to you, Juanita. It's been a pleasure watching you grow into the woman that you are becoming, because you have not yet arrived. You've done some amazing things. You've already received many acknowledgments and many accolades, but sis, baby, the best is yet to come. Speaking of baby, she's expecting baby number 3. And she did share with us that she's going to have another little princess. And, you know, in true Tilted Halo style, I had to ask her, girl, what did you do? She going to have 3 daughters. So while we're celebrating our sister Juanita, we are petitioning you all in the listening audience for prayers for our sister.
Put your hand this way.
Extend your right hand, which represents power, and give him.
Oh, come on.
All right.
Now, you know, Tilted, I'm gonna put my church finger up because it's I gotta speak a little on the interlude that I know you are expecting with the Corey Brown. So I'm gonna say that, you know, when I saw the version of Flyers and I saw your picture and I said, oh, there go my bestie, she doing it out there in those Lehigh Valley streets. And then I saw the Mr. Corey Brown, and you know, because it's been about 10 years since he and I, literally 10 years, we worked together. I believe in 2015 was the last time that, or 2016 that Corey and I actually worked together on stage was 2015. And I got happy for you. Now, that only happens when you know the connections of the individuals and the combunction junction that's about to happen, not just with you and Corey, but with V and Corey, with Juanita and Corey, with Hassan and Corey. Listen, I promise you, I spent probably about 2 days with the question, how can I get in the room? So here's the solution. I can't get in the room. But I advise each and every one of you that are in the listening audience and close enough to get in that room on March 21st, go ahead and make it your business to get in that room so that you can experience all of the work, all of the joy. You talking about vibes on top of vibes. Go ahead and get you some. In this world, with so many different things going on, you're going to need to take that break. So go ahead and get your tickets now before they go ahead on and get sold out. So I thank you for allowing me my few minutes of interlude. You know, as I say, get out there and go see some of that greatness.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So check it out. All right. I think I see our guest, you know, just finishing up his warm-up flow. I see he's gotten a little loose, a little crack, the kinks out. He's doing his thing. I mean, not for nothing. He got this chain around his neck, y'all. He needs to do some exercises. That thing looked like it got a little bit of weight on it. So listen, like I already said, y'all, we're going to do things on the platform tonight just a little bit differently as we welcome our family, our mentor, our coach, our girl. If you don't get this done right now, I'm talking about our brother, Rasheem.
What's happening?
I like to call him Peter, but you know, Karen be looking at me crazy.
We in the building. What's happening, y'all?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Listen, I'll tell you one of the things y'all just said that made me, my first thing I wanted to say was, it's a beautiful thing to have family. You said family's in town, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that a beautiful thing to have family?
It's a give me 5 minutes, but yes, it's a beautiful thing.
you feel like a kid again, though. When they come,
yes,
you feel like a kid again.
Yes,
you know what I mean. I feel like everything that's nostalgic is just a beautiful thing at this point.
Yes,
it take you back to those good times, those loved ones that's left here and everything. It's a beautiful thing, especially at this time and age. You know.
Yes, I agree.
So today,
what we got?
I got a few.
Oh Lord, what are we doing, Karen? What did I just do?
Yeah, I got a few questions for both of y'all. I wanted to deep dive because I think that every day I'm talking to somebody about something different, and some of the questions, it's like some of the statements that they make. I'll ask one question like "bow," and they go, "I'm gone. I ain't even think of that. You know what I mean? And I like that. I like having those moments where, you know, like reflections of purpose, you know, and things that are unhinged, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like that, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So tonight on y'all show, I have a few questions for the queens. Okay. I got a few questions for the queens. All right, we're going to jump into this. Look, I'm even joining the eyeglass club with y'all tonight.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just saying, right? Because look, the font on this paper right here is a little different. You know what I'm saying? Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so one question is, are you emotionally available to your family or just financially responsible?
Ooh. See, now you're getting in our business, because I promise you, Tilton and I just had this conversation about 2 Saturdays ago. Like, literally. Wow.
I am both selectively.
Okay.
I'm gonna say there are layers to that question, and this came up in the conversation, and kind of piggybacking off of what Tilted said about being both selectively, right? So we are past the age of raising children. And one of the points of conversation we mentioned is that in earlier years, we were so busy focusing on the financial responsibility for our families. Maybe sometimes we miss the mark on the emotional availability. But I'm going to tell you now, in the space where I am, and because I get to choose, right? I get to, them kids grown, okay? Shout out to Danielle. My oldest, her birthday was yesterday. Do not ask me how old she is, because it is none of my business anymore. How many years she been on this earth? All I can say is we both survived. But now I get to pour in and have some of that emotional availability in a larger quantity for my grandchildren, right? And I can dish it out to my children a little bit more, because we took the time to kind of focus on doing the things we needed to do during their formative years. And now I get to say yes or no to being financially responsible in their lives, and in the lives of the rest of my family. No, because I never say I don't have it. This is a line that I learned from Tilted. My money is on assignment. So no, I can't give you none. Like, we're not gonna lie, right? We're not gonna lie. A lot of times people come and ask for money. You be like, child, I'm broke too. I ain't got no money. I got money. You just can't have it. Okay, let me put that out there. My money is on assignment. So I'm gonna leave that there. Tilted, you got anything to add to your?
Actually, yeah, I do have something to add to it, because I was actually thinking about this today, and how we sometimes take the place of God in our children's lives as we begin to parent. And I was like, wow. And this actually came from something you said in that conversation, Karen. Sometimes we do play God. And then I'm like, woo, am I a narcissist? No, that's not it. We've just been in the habit of taking care of what God entrusted us with so well that it's sometimes hard to separate the responsibility financially and emotionally. They muddy together because we just naturally love our children the way we do. So now I moved into the position of, okay, now I got to move out and be like God in my children's life. We call on him when we need him, right? And that relationship develops over time. Sometimes we got to give our kids space, especially with them being adults. Sometimes we've got to give them the space to say and come to us when they need to really tap into what it is they know we have to offer, as opposed to just volunteering what we know and trying to impose what we think they need to get the help or to change the situation that they're standing in. That's kind of like the way God has handled us individually. You know, if we don't acknowledge him in all of our ways, meaning our good, our bad, and our ugly, if we don't acknowledge him in all of that, is it fair for us to go to God only when we need something?
True that.
So yeah, that's I'm gonna end it on that. Huh?
I said, wow.
That was a good first question.
Wow.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Here's another question. We're gonna move on. We're gonna go deeper. Tell the world what it feels like to be a Black woman.
All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my brothers. I had to fight my uncles. A black child ain't safe in a... Let me stop.
Go ahead, hit us with it. Hit us with it.
Didn't I just say it all? I exhaled.
It did. I want more.
Yeah, I exhaled. As a Black woman who was required to leave my home and actually connect with people in the outside world every single day, right? You know what? There you go, being petty again, Karen.
I'm sorry. I don't want it.
But you know, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Because you know, people already have so many preconceived notions about what to expect from us when they see us, how we present ourselves, how we show up. And though some people are eloquent and well spoken and all that jazz, sometimes it's like, yo, what am I supposed to speak like? Did you expect ignorance to come out of my mouth? What's that about? That's exhausting. Even though I'm just being who I am, if I step outside of that, people don't know how to take me just being regular old Keita. And Keita is lit. I'm the bomb. When I step outside of, you know, having to be that person instructing or teaching or, you know, that girl. Right. What is the expectation and why? That can be tiring, man. Yeah. You know, not to be allowed to be 100% of yourself. I do my best not to code switch, and I really don't. You know, I use the broken English in the office. I don't even care. But it's like, how many instances do I really truly get to do that? Sis be tired.
I love this question. What is it like to be a Black? I don't like calling myself Black Girl Magic because I'm not magical, although there may be certain things that are a little mystical. Maybe you don't understand. And you know, Rasheem, this came from a conversation that you and I had, and it was me saying, it's not an ego thing. I am dope. Right? Like, I'm a high level of dopeness, but I'm also the blueprint. And I don't mean me, Karen. I mean us as Black women. We are the blueprint from a lot of things in the world, but the world is not used to our voices. They're not used to our style. They're not used to our grace. They're not even used to the way that we love, right? We hear songs about grandma's hands, right? They used to do this, they used to do that. Well, guess what? Mimi's hands is still doing some things, but we understand that, you know, biblically, and my dad used to say this all the time, don't throw your pearl to swine. And it's not to say that people are not worth it, but some of y'all not. I can't say it another way. There is brilliance that we bring when we step into the room. But here's the thing. As I second what my sister has said, it is tiring because we don't often get fortified. We don't often get the opportunities to be poured back into in the way that we can receive it, right? So we hear people talking about love language. What is your replenishment language that you're able to say, all right, listen, I poured out as a Black woman. I done did my Wonder Woman swirl. I did all of the things. Now I'm going to put my, I don't know if it's Linda Carter. We're going to find a Black version, Diane Carroll version down, and not be the superhero right now. You hear many Black women talking about, we want the soft life. I say it often. I'm not signing up for struggle. I know that it comes and we will handle it. Do not sign me up for struggle. Now, I recognize that I'm one of God's strongest soldiers. I get it. But me and the Lord talk about, Lord, if you could skip me with this one, I appreciate it. Because, you know, I had did the last 10 hard ones. So if I could just get one soft one, I really appreciate that. To be a Black woman sometimes is to be underappreciated. But you know what we do? Find you a Black woman, right? And you doing something fly. What they gonna give you? Extra energy. You looking fly, what we say? Shoes. Okay, shoes.
Come through hair. Okay, hair. Yes, dress.
We coming through and we fortifying the nation. So when I say we're the blueprint because we are dope, we don't keep our dopeness to ourselves. We gonna lift you up in a way that you didn't even know. Somebody gonna be like, shoes? She talking to me? My shoe? And then they skipping and hopping all the day long because can't nobody do it quite like us, right? Now, it's a lot of dope people in the world. We not taking that from y'all. But we have to be able to be celebrated and replenished so that we can bring more greatness in the world. But love that question, sir.
Okay, I got another one.
He full of them.
So what is the ultimate form of appreciation shown to you?
Ooh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just to hear thank
just
you.
Just the word thank you.
I'm gonna say this. This is
I don't hear it enough.
Okay.
I do too much and I don't hear thank you enough.
That's I'm gonna agree with this, and I'm gonna say something else, right? I'm focusing on that replenishing area. Give me a moment to rebuild, to recharge. And a lot of times I think Tilted and I are this way. I'm a hugger because it's how I literally like my superpower is recharged when somebody hugs me. So my grandkids know I'm hugging you whether you like it or not, right? Like, and I know, they're huggers, they want to hug me. This is not a, weird situation where it's like, no, don't touch me. But when I'm hugging them, right, we're doing that exchange of energy to understand that that's a thank you to me as well. And everybody is different. I know that's something that we've moved away from because now we carrying diseases and whatnot, so we can't hug like we used to. But I hug selectively with those who are closest to me because there's a thank you in that hug. There is grace in that hug. There's replenishment in it because when it's genuine. Now, if you stink, keep yourself over there. I don't need to but
keep it a secret.
It's a thank you.
I'm a hugger too. I need you to do one thing for me. I need you to describe the soft life.
Ooh.
You wait a minute. Cut that out.
That's you, Karen.
This is PG over here, but that.
You said it, so I said describe the soft life. You mentioned it.
Go ahead, do it.
You said it, Karen. That's all you.
Soft life for me is don't nobody bring me no bad news, right? Don't come over here trying to create chaos. We are women of a certain age. We call ourselves queenagers because we have endured some things. We've done some things. But here's the biggest thing that we've done. We have gained wisdom. And so don't come over here with them little teenager antics. Don't come over here with situations that's going to cause me a headache. Don't come over here with stuff that's going to cause me to get out of my big queen chair because now I got to come down there and deal with you. Soft life for me is a place where thank yous live, where grace lives, where love leads, right? And where wisdom is a plenty. Because when we are wise, we learn that there are multiple ways to do things, but we don't have to choose the struggle, right? I said that to you earlier. Pick one struggle. Pick one struggle. We're not struggling in every area of our life, right? So if I got a struggle in the marriage, that means my money is good, my mind is straight, my job is doing good. If the kids acting crazy, listen, y'all not bringing all that struggle over here. So soft life to me is I've done the work to not only be a soft place for folks to land, but to also find a soft place to land, whether life gets hard or not. So I don't know if that's like the actual definition of it, but I see that as a soft life, right? Don't bring me no bad news. Don't bring me in my Mary J. Blige and my MJB voice, no more drama, right? We here for the good vibes and to be able to share love, not anguish or hurt. So yeah, that's my thought. Soft life. It's not about money. It's about
if a person could spend $50 on you and not buy flowers or dinner, what can they buy for you?
You know, it's funny. Probably 2 years ago, I gave this assignment to my husband, and this was before he was my husband, because I learned some things. That's all we're gonna say. His assignment, and it was during my birthday. It was in February, and I said, for 60 days, you have to show me appreciation, and you can't spend a dime. You can't spend. Listen, when I go hard, y'all know. Now, listen. 10 minutes after I said it, I realized my birthday month was in it, so we needed a repeat.
He's like, you said it. You said it.
Wait a minute. But I said it, and I stuck to it. He gave a reprieve for the birthday, but this is the thing, right? We are so used to people. We're so used to equating love with dollars. We're so used to equating care with what somebody spends that we forget the assignment of love is free. It's free to love me. That means take me on a trip to the park, right? Like, don't give me the money. Spend the money on some gas so we can get somewhere. Take me to the water, right? Always the number one answer, because those who know that's where the exchange happens for me. But take me to the water. Show me what you think about me. So in that time, he wrote me a letter. It's somewhere in here. I found it a year ago. He wrote me a letter about what his thoughts were for me. It was small things. But some of us have to be trained in the area because we are used to, well, if I love this woman, I gotta spend this, spend that. Also realize, for those of you who don't know, he done already bought the diamonds, right? We bought the diamonds, we bought the car. So now you either gonna go bigger. I don't know where we're gonna go from that, but I'm gonna test them. Or do you break it down and say, my love language, and this is for real, my love language are words of affirmation. That don't cost you a thing. But actually, my love language is gifts and words of affirmation. But because they go hand in hand, and I'm a writer, your words to me become a gift for me. And so that's a thing that I'm really, really big on. What do you say about me? What do you say to me? What are your thoughts about me? And it's a sucker punch, but I'm a cheap date. That's all I can say.
So he gets so that guy gets to keep the $50 then. Okay.
He gets to keep the $50. So now he can spend $100 on my good girlfriend Keita. That's what I heard. I got you, girl.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So I guess what, same question?
Yes.
Well, the question is $50. How could they spend it? Now, yes. I'm gonna let, if dude wanted to spend the money on me, I like good lotion, okay? And my lotion be costing $20 a bottle. You got to drive to the little spot in Philly to find me what I want. If you do that for me, that shows your intention, your thoughtfulness, that you've been paying attention to my details. Karen,
what lotion is this? Is this Victoria's Secret? What is this?
No, this ain't even no Victoria's Secret. I buy this at a shop in Philly called Yadane, and it's all sourced, all natural products. It's the Islam Brothers. It's from the sisters from the nation. I use that good stuff, baby. It's pure. Okay. It's pure. I like good lotion, and I have been known to just hop in my car and drive down to Philly and just stock up. I was good this winter. Notice I wasn't complaining too much about being ashy this year, right? I stocked up. I was ready before the season got here. The only thing I needed to do to top off my mango shea butter lotion, okay?
That's what I'm talking about. Shea butter.
That's that mango shea, baby. Okay.
Okay. So look, okay, if you can answer, both of y'all answer, what is one thing that you would say makes you happy?
I'll go. Sitting by the water. just sitting there. There is something, and I'll say it's magical, but it is ingrained in me. I talk about it, the exchange. Don't talk to me. You ain't got to say nothing to me. Let me sit at the water and wander in the awe of the water. Like there's something that happens to me there. I'm a even nicer version of myself, Sheen. That's all I can say for that. I am sweet. I am the softest version of me.
You watered down.
I'm literally watered down. I promise you.
Lord,
I
she
am.
done turned herself into some Coke 45. Lord.
I'm watered down, but because I'm a person who, first of all, I'm a Pisces. I'm a Pisces. I'm a water sign. So it is me going back to my roots and what I know for myself at that water. And so, yeah, I'm rarely, it was, yeah, I'm rarely not happy at the water. Like it is one of my happiest places because I know, I just have a fullness of who I am there. And then me makes me happy, right? Like the awe of what God is showing me about me, through me, for me makes me happy in that space. So thank you. Tilted.
I actually like silence. Silence speaks volumes to me. It's in silence where I can hear the strategy I receive when there's absolutely no noise. Fun fact about me, my last drive down, I talked to y'all and share with y'all. I got my hood music on during the ride. I got my R&B on during the ride, but for at least 2 hours of that ride, I rode in silence. I like to take in the sound of everything, the details of the sound of the road. You ever notice the sound of your tires as they're rotating? They actually have a rhythm. Mm-hmm. And if you turn your auditory thoughts in another direction, you can hear how smoothly your engine is running. Absolutely. And then if you have the audacity to roll down the window, there's something about the sound of the wind passing by your ear. You can actually hear velocity in sound. I actually enjoy just silence. For someone who's a talk show host and everything, I'm not a huge talker unless the conversation has purpose. So many a day, I ain't got to talk to nobody for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different days. And guess what? I'd be okay because the internal dialogue, I'm able to, it comes up and I'm able to address the wrong thought and start to speak life to it and redirect myself. Sometimes I convince myself that I'm not good enough at a thing, but then I begin to speak against that one thought. Hey, but remember you did this. Look how far you come, girl. You the bomb. Da, da, da. It always turns into a girl, you all that in a bag of chips plus the dips and ice cold Pepsi. You are all of that. The silence takes me there because that's when things resurface. My sister Hannah, she works in neurodivergence, right? And I noticed in silence, things I forgot happened come up. It's like, oh wow, that happened. Is that impacting how I'm handling myself and how I'm handling others today? Let's deal with that one thing that I forgot. But those things happen for me in silence. And as y'all see, I'm pretty peaceful. I'm pretty zen. Yeah, that's me.
Love it.
All right, I got another question. No, we getting deep up in here.
Let's go.
Yeah, you guys, okay, you want to talk to us, huh?
So you got 20 of your ancestors, not related, people who have just been here for different purposes, inventors, people who was doing revolts, people who stood up for racism, and they were all just sitting in front of you and they all asked, so what do you do? What do you say to them?
The question is, what do you do?
They are all sitting here in front of you.
Yeah.
And they want to know, what are you doing as a Black person in this world? Are you doing something for the next generation or whatever? What is your purpose? What do you do?
Ooh. My purpose at this elevation in my life, because I realize every round goes higher and higher. And I had told y'all back at Thanksgiving, I'm a soul in transition. I'm ascending double nickels. I'm ascending 55. I'm very aware that my purpose right now has been to this point is, again, like Karen said, being a blueprint to the younger generations behind me. In particular, to the younger generations behind me who have lived and experienced foster care. I'm taking that part of my life's journey and just sharing the testimony of everything that sprung out of me because I was a foster child. It wasn't all bad. And I know that that's my God perspective, my God perspective that helps me see it differently because, I fell in love with studying the scriptures very young. So I'm able to look back and say, hey, it had to happen. Shout out to our girl Fantasia, who sang it best. It was necessary for me to look back in those moments of silence. Those are the seasons in my life I'm revisiting, like, wow, I might have been in foster care. However, and she's now my ancestor, Mama Franklin. Mama Dorothy was that African-American woman who was also an educated woman, who was also an Eastern Star, who was also the first Black woman I was in close proximity with, who was an entrepreneur. She had multiple businesses. So why having that, it impacted me clearly. But yeah, my purpose is to give back. And I know she was a young woman who left Southern Alabama, Jim Crow, all of that. She was a fair-skinned woman who some could say could actually pass because, passing was a thing. But her story, it aligned and collided with mine and brought me into my purpose. Right now, we changing lives like little Black girl. The one that they saying got the nappy hair. Look at me, sweetheart. You're beautiful. You just don't see it yet. Yes, that hurt. But if you tap into your higher power, God can take that pain and turn it into a purpose. And if you really hold on to that, God can help you turn that thing, what the devil meant for evil, and work for your good. That is my purpose, to remind people that God is always with you. God is for you. He is more than the world against you, because I promise you, I had the world against me, but I hope I'm making my ancestors proud. I know my mother's on the other side cheering me on as well. Baby, we finna tell this story because it wasn't bad. There was good. And there is a purpose to every single thing. That's how I became a life purpose coach, y'all. I don't even know.
There's
a purpose. It's a purpose. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. One of the things that come to mind when you ask the question, what am I doing? I'm thriving. I remember we used to go into the supermarket, and yes, it's going to be a joke. And they'd be like, well, do you want to feed the hungry? I am right now. When I'm shopping right now, I'm feeding the hungry, right? It's like how to help poor people. Don't be one. I don't know. So I want to mirror, and I think my answer to those ancestors would be, I'm building on the foundation that you left. I'm trying my best not to squander the opportunities that you opened the door for me for. And I'm encouraging other people to take those broad steps and wide strokes so that we can reach further, farther, better, stronger, all of those things. And understanding that my past is not just a blueprint for me and my family, but it's for those other single mothers, those other teenagers that dealt with some things. I recall just like literally having a conversation with my grown children about some things that I encountered. And they were like, oh my goodness, Ma, your story could be a Lifetime movie. Honey, my story could be a Lifetime channel. Okay. I'm not talking about one movie. We got stories on stories on stories.
Episodes.
How that part, episodes on how we overcame every obstacle, and it wasn't by ourselves, right? Shout out to you know him as 14K, my brother Andre, aka Goddaddy to my oldest child. And I remember saying to him, you know, oh, God brought me over and got me through all of these things. And he was like, no, sis, I need to correct you, right? Because you had to make the decisions that yielded a positive impact on your family, right? God gave you the choice. You still had to choose. And so in my answer to our ancestors, I would let them know I'm choosing life. I'm choosing joy, right? I'm choosing to make sure that the wins that I experience also leave breadcrumbs, not just for me and mine, but for the next generation. Why? Because I want, and I would say this all the time with the work that I did in DEI, it never was about me. It wasn't about me. It was about, I'm going to bust this door down for my grandbabies, because if I don't open the door for anybody else but for the 55 grandchildren that I have, that's enough. But to know that every door that I walk through, whether somebody decided that they want to close it, okay, now it's your fault. And you'll ask me, what do you mean it's your fault? Now we got to find another way. Okay, so that means your glass gonna be broke. That means all of the safeguards that you're trying to put. I just wanted to go through the door. We gonna make it. We're going to get to the other side. That's what our Harriets taught us. That's what our Malcolms taught us. That's what our Martins taught us, right? That's what our Mayas taught us. That's what we're learning right now. When we see entrepreneurs like Tyler Perry and those particular folks, I don't even know the people who bring in the production company to North New Jersey, right? Somebody said, we're going to bust all this down. Don't care what it takes. We're going to get to the win. And so that tenacity is what I'm bringing to our current generation, not only to remind them and encourage them we could do it, but I tell you, well, okay, we ain't going to say that. I'm encouraging them. That's all we're going to say. I'm encouraging them, because sometimes we got to take a little bit of that Martin and a little bit of that Malcolm and merge it, right? By any means necessary, I'm going to love y'all to greatness. There you go.
I like that. That's cool right there. That's pretty cool. All right, well, I done asked a bunch of questions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. But y'all got some questions?
Yeah, well, I want to put that last question back on you.
Which one?
If your ancestor, that same question you just asked us, you sitting in a room full of the ancestors. You got Malcolm, you got Martin, you got Nat, you got all of them. Okay, Alex Haley, even Picasso. I could speak to different genres of ancestors, just to help broaden your answer, because I'm speaking to everything that comes up out of you. So yeah, same question to you, Mr. Pugh.
Okay. Well, it's funny because I feel like I carry them with me every day in everything that I do. Even when I think one of the things that I kind of took for granted and really wasn't paying attention to was the tow truck business. When I first started doing the tow truck business, of course it was about, hey, this makes money. Let me try this. You know what I mean? Buy a truck, do my own thing, blah, 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 blah. But then as I chose the name Get You Home Towing. And then I recognized that I was doing a service by helping people get home, right? But then that became something deeper when I met the old lady, somebody's grandma. And when I saw the 17-year-old Black girl stuck on the side of the highway. And then when I saw the brother, his car went down in a ditch. And then I saw the girl who crashed into the tree, and she's 16 years old, and her parents running, and they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy you got her. When I seen that I'm this Black man smiling, saying, you all right? And I'm big, and I got weapons in case any craziness is out there. And I'm making sure that these people are safe, especially in a world where people are snatching people, and especially in a world where they're snatching young girls. And I see the fear in their face even when I'm pulling up. And I say, hey, you good? You all right? You okay? All right. Well, get in the truck, have a seat. I'm gonna deal with the car. And they go, okay. And they get on the phone. They on the phone. And they stay on the phone as long as they will. Look, I'm gonna get you home. You good. You in good hands. And I saw it was like I didn't realize how impactful that was until and many of the listeners won't realize how impactful that is until they stuck on the side of the road and it's dark.
Okay.
And it's in a town that they might call a sundown town, or it's so dark on the street that it's a farm on this side, farm on that side. You can't see in front or back of you, and your battery about to die in that car. Woo. You know what I'm saying? It gets real. I did a video one time where I said this video is called Conversations with God. It's like when I'm in that tow truck and I got all the lights and everything going. When I go down them black roads, let me tell you something. It's so black, I wouldn't want to be stuck in the tow truck. You know what I mean? Okay. So I can imagine a person in the car. So that's just one thing that I'm proud of. I'm proud of the lyrics that I write, the messages that I put in the music that encourages, that uplifts. I'm proud of my nonprofit that has put a lot of people in films and different programs. And I mean, even whenever we would do a casting call and you see 80 people show up, and I always wanted to be in something like this. It was in my back of my head. I dreamed it, but I never had a chance. Well, here's your chance. Boom. Express yourself. And then to see that person go from, like, let's say like a John Black, his first film being It Takes a Village Part 2. And now John Black is all over Tubi.
Shout out to
all
John.
over Tubi. He's everywhere, you know? And there's a few other actors that, man, I feel like the Spike Lee in this area. But and when I look at that, by just saying Spike Lee, look at all of the opportunities he created for the people he put on. And I would say to my what's the guy name? What's his Robeson? Paul Robeson?
Yes,
that's,
Paul Robeson.
That's an ancestor. Yes. He would be proud of that. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, true. You helping some of my theater people, you know, stuff like that. Then mentoring the youth, especially the troubled ones. Sitting there telling them my story. All right, when I was 17, I got locked up. I was facing 25 years. And I decided at that moment, you know, I better change my life and pursue my dreams. Some people hear that story and they go, wow, okay. And they look at that and say, okay, you're successful. And I say, wait, I'm not successful until I finish raising these 4 boys and this daughter. You see what I'm saying? I'm still pouring out into them. And I want to see them become adults and grown, and they have their success. And, you know, the success ain't just money. Of course, it's family, love, all that good stuff. So I have a lot to share with my ancestors because I really feel like one of their bloods is still in my blood, and it pumps every day. And when I see certain things, it just make me like roused up, you know? Even when I see, we were looking at the war today, and I said, you know, just imagine there was a time where the white man was at war and said, we can't win this war unless we recruit some black people. But we got to give them incentive. Well, let's tell them that we're free to slaves if they do that. And guess what? They fought their butt off and they won that war because of them brothers, you know? And I sit here and I look and I say, you know, well, we watching TV and we watching the bombs in Israel and all that. And I said, well, you know, we've been at war. We at war with our food. We at war with our privacy. You know what I'm saying? With the ring cameras. I mean, it's a camera on every corner, taping everywhere we go. We've been tracked by our cell phone. We've been at war. We at war when we get pulled over by the cops. We don't know what's going to happen next, you know? And then in my case, when you get behind my car, it says, this is a concealed carrier. And he's also a master mason. So when you go to his door, you better have your hand on your gun because he has a gun in that car. So depending on what side of the bed that cop woke up on, it could be my last day or his. You never know. But that's a war that's in our mind constantly. And every day when I went to school today and I told my daughter, hey, give me your hand. She said, Mom, don't let me walk with her hand. I said, I don't care what your mama do. I'm holding your hand. You get what I'm saying? I said, and the reality is this. They snatching kids. I saw a video where the mother was holding her baby's hand, walking out of Walmart. And this guy was walking in Walmart. He bent down and grabbed the child while the mother was still holding onto the child. And then they struggled out of frame. And they said that different people came in and tackled him down and he got arrested. But think about the balls that this guy had to have. I'm going to take the baby while she holding the baby. Like, to me, that person, it's like bring the death thing back. Because this person just needs to die. No respect for nothing. They don't need to be here. Why have so many people that don't value life alive?
All right.
Don't want to be here. Don't be here. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to make what you describe by the water as a beautiful place into a massacre place, into a place where people scared to go to the water because you out there shooting everybody on the beach. Right. I mean, like, come on, what we doing? You know? And then another thing is, I know I'm ranting, but I'm going in. That's the ancestors. I told y'all. So
flow, brother, flow.
You know, and it's a thing where I feel like there is no way on the planet Earth that we should be victims of anything anymore. If you a victim today, you ain't paid attention. You haven't been paying attention. If you don't have a concealed license, guess what? You might have a felony. Get your daughter to get one. Get your son to get the cousin. Somebody get it. So when y'all in the car together, there's something to protect the life that God gave you. He gave you one. Don't let no fool out here just because they wake up on the wrong side or their money ain't right. They gonna take it out on everybody. No, not me. Not today. You know what I'm saying? We being victims, even in the workplace. If you're a victim in your workplace, you haven't paid attention. It is so many. It's this one girl. She comes online. What is her name? Her last name is the Hittens. And she always talks about, she comes on and she'd be like, Anichiwa, hello, and Assalamu alaikum. Did y'all know you can make $10,000 doing this in 30 days? And she keeps coming on YouTube and she keeps telling you all these different ways that you can make money. So yeah, it's nothing wrong with having a job. You want the job, keep the job. But if somebody disrespect you at that job, if somebody sexually assault you at that job, don't stay there. Get up out of there. You're going to survive. God provides. You know what I mean? Pay attention to all these different new ways that's coming up for you to make money and take advantage of them. We look at the young people. Young people, it's so funny because a lot of us older people in our 50s and older, we look at these young people and be like, they have no clue or whatever. But the reality is they see more opportunities than we saw, and they're going for it, and they have no worries about failing. And you have to admire that because they ain't worried. You worry more than them. You saying, well, how they gonna pay the rent at the end of the month? And you see them, they over there like,
Friday.
How you gonna pay your rent? Did you save your rent money? No. I was thinking I was gonna work about it. Yes, I'm about to DoorDash. And then they pay the rent with DoorDash. You was worrying for nothing. They done figured it out. You know what I mean? How to create that stress-free life, that soft life. Look, they $50.
That sound like the party life. That sound like the party life.
Yeah, that's a life of freedom for real.
Right. So that was just all of that was just to answer the question. Sorry, that just
it's all good, ancestor. But here's the deal: you're sitting here with one of the media moguls of the area, and I got a little thought for what's really going on. Hey. As you were speaking, you were talking about how the young child was almost snatched from their mama right there in Walmart. So with everything going on in the world, right? We see that we're at war. And so many of the commentators online are sharing the thought that this was the hugest way possible, the hugest way ever to distract from the Epstein files, right? Mm-hmm. So part of the Epstein files recently revealed that Life Touch Photos, the CEO, the owner of that particular company, had a huge, was mentioned quite a bit in the Epstein files. And you know how my little tilted brain gets to work, and my first thought was like, oh my God. They took
millions.
Every child's name, address, telephone number, mama name, age, date of birth, and they plugged it into a database. Wow. So they know who to mail these photos to. You know, you got the picture ID associated with the number on the packet that they signed. Took it one step further. I'm like, wow. So that means if your parents didn't have like all of the money to pay for the largest package, back in the day, I think the $100 package, you was balling because you had extra pictures and everybody in your whole cipher get a picture of you that year. But a lot of parents couldn't afford to pay for those photo packages, right? So many students just went and got the free ones that came just because you showed up for school picture day to be included in the yearbook and in the class photo. I shared that thought to say, I wonder if that's how they even index the children whose information they were able to obtain through the Life Touch photo packages. Can we have a conversation about my thought on this? Get into it. I see you over there shaking your head, Rasheem. You getting your Stevie Wonder in it. You riding with me, riding.
Listen, let me say this. A lot of people want to join clubs until they see the fine print. It's a lot of clubs out here that do a lot of stuff. We just get the surface when we talk about people who go to college and they join fraternities and sororities, right? The hazing process that everybody talk about. It was lawsuits. It was all kinds of stuff. One sorority put their finger in the guy. I mean, it's a lot of different assault stuff happening.
Fraternity.
Right? Well, as you go up the ranks and you go into these bigger groups, more private groups, a lot more stuff happens. And it's been happening for a long time. I literally just saw the other day where they said they was going through different countries of how many children are missing each year. And they said over 400,000 kids a year in America get snatched, get missing. That tells me 400,000. So I have to say to myself, where are the parents at? What were they doing? And is it from parents? Guilford County, when I was working with these youth at one point, they had over 600 kids in the system. Over 600 kids in the system. And a lot of these kids were in foster homes. And you have to ask yourself, are foster kids getting missing? Is it daycares? Is it the high schools? I mean, what is it? Is it because somehow you can't steal certain kids from certain places.
That's right.
You just can't. You know what I mean? Because somebody's eyes is always on them kids. And you can't get it. Like if you go into projects and all these mamas in the windows and cousins outside and playing, the boys standing over there selling drugs, try to go steal a kid right there in front of them. Just try it. You'll be dead before you get out the parking lot.
You ain't making it off the block.
You get what I'm saying? You're not making it. So then they go to these suburban areas. Okay, then it's kind of like Malcolm X said. He said, all y'all want to be over there till y'all get over there and see what happened to you.
That's right.
See how they treat you over there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things where I made a post and I was angry because I saw that video. And I said on my post, I said, everybody go get a concealed license. And I said, if you see somebody trying to steal a kid, just shoot. That's all. Just shoot. And, and I'm not condoning violence, but are we going to sit here and let 500,000 kids get missing in front of our face? If somebody do that in front of me, they're going to have a bad day. That's my kids say, oh, dad going to say you're going to have a bad day. You're going to have a bad day. You know what I mean? Because it should not be accepted. You got countries that if you steal something, they cutting your hand off. It could be a piece of fruit. You know what I mean? You got guys where if they rape somebody, they're cutting off their private parts. So now you got to walk around with a bag to use the bathroom forever because of what you've done. I mean, there has to be more than just going to a prison, getting into a fight, and staying comfy for 20, 30 years and come out with your weight up or gray hair and all that. Now you in the old folks' home living off Social Security that everybody else paid into. It got to be more than that. That's not enough. I remember my homeboy, he was hustling. He never had a job. And he was hustling and selling drugs. And he got shot and got popped in the stomach. Boom. And he had to wear like a little wrap and everything. And then he told me one day, he said, yeah, man, you know, I'm up, and it's funny. I'm living in PA. He told me I'm in PA. And he said, I'm on Section 8 and I get disability. And I said, what? He said, for the rest of my life. I said, so wait a minute, let me get this straight. So you sold drugs your whole life, never had a job, never paid into anything concerning the government at all, never, no taxes, nothing. You get shot doing some street stuff, and now our tax dollars pay for you for the rest of your life to sit at home, and you got Section 8 voucher, living in a better house than most of us, because Pennsylvania is beautiful in the Poconos.
Yes, it is.
So I said, wow, oh, wow, that's deep. And it really taught me something. I was like, wow, like when I see this war on TV, you ask the question, why? And I don't see no different than seeing Malik from 18th Street going to take over 22nd Street because they're getting more money over there. That's all I see. You got no reason. There's no reason to be at war with nobody unless you're trying to take over their area for their resources. You know what I'm saying? This whole country,
that is a fact.
This whole country was built on gangsterism. These people sent people over to the Americas, and it was black people here, natives. We are the natives, and others, you know, whoever, God knows best who else was here, and they conquered it. They took over. They killed millions to take over this place. And now they even went against the place that sent them here. They went against them. They started sending, what was it, Britain or UK? One of them. They sent soldiers over here, and it was the U.S. people was fighting where they came from. Like, no, this is ours. We independent. Oh, 4th of July, Independence Day. Yay. We independent gangsters. You see what I'm saying? Now we got our own gangster thing. So now we gonna gangster the black folk. We gonna gangster these folks and those folks over there. Oh yeah, we gangster. Oh wait, hold up. We got some guns. We got more guns than we even use, than we even need. Yo, let's go take that other area over there, dog. Yo, I'm with it. How many people we got with us? Oh, look. We ain't even gotta do it. We gonna start an Army, a Navy, Air Force, and Marines. We gonna recruit people from this country and make our own gangs to go take over areas that we want to take over at any given time. It won't even cost us our life. That's all I see. When you study history, that's what it is. That is the plain sight. It's like, I don't see politics. I see man taking over areas, man trying to be greedy, or man trying to control a people. Oh, this is my district. That's your district. That's that control. You know what I mean? Even when it comes to religions, that's my religious house. This is my religious house. I require you to pay this amount of money. You come in here, I require you to pay an amount of money. We're going to call that this. We're going to call that that. Different names, control at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, look, my uncle said, well, I ain't going to say the N word, but he was just basically like, you know, an N is an N. It don't matter what he do. Don't matter what he is. And you know, the N is ignorance. It's past any color.
Not a color. Not a color.
Not a color.
And America is gangster. The eagle is gangster. The eagle is the highest flying bird that can see all things and swoop down so fast that the animal don't even see him coming, and grab him up and then drop him to kill him, and then come back and grab him while he's dead and go feed his family.
The American way. The American way.
According to Rasheem Pugh.
It's gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Woo! Gangsta America. Gangsta America.
Thanks, America. And you know, the one thing you brought up, Rasheem, a lot of things, right? A lot of manipulation. Shout out to Girl Talk Nails. We love you, Marisol. Thank you for joining us this evening. And we got all of the questions, all of the topics. But one of the things that you mentioned is that manipulative control and how it activates not just in the war, not just in the Epstein files, right? Getting back to the Life Touch and the millions of children that were in the mix to be exploited. And we signed up for it, right? Like, I know I was the one. Well, I mean, I would only take the picture till I had one good picture of the kids, and then I said this is the last one, so I ain't paid for a picture since Danielle was 9, because them pictures cost too much. But that's another story. When we sent our kids to school to learn. We sent our kids to school under the premise that they were safe.
Right.
I think the biggest thing with the war, with the files, is that the thought of protected safety is shattered on so many levels. And the biggest, I think the biggest challenge with all of this and why people are going in a tailspin is, one, nobody wants anybody to know that they've been duped, right? Like, you could dupe me and it'd be between me and you. I'm a side-eye you and be like, no, you can't have none of my cookies, or you can't have whatever shared thing. It's a different thing for all of us to be in a space and say, we were duped. We were duped by the thought of, because many of us don't think of the American gangsters, right? They don't think of the American way as gangster. If I see it and you have it, I'm going to take it. That is also the American way, right? That's how this country was founded. When we think about the myriad ways that DEI has been taken out of conversations and taken out of all of the different places. And, you know, we'll say, well, they don't want us to be educated, right? Because they want us to remain ignorant. But the fact is, they don't want anybody to know the dirt, right? If I know that my grandma was part of the lynching of your great grandpapa, I don't want nobody else to know. I'm not concerned that your grandfather is dead and that your family saw hardships. I'd rather hold on to my ego, my pride, than to say, you know what? We did have a gangster time, and I wish that things were different. That, to me, is the real reason why the information is leaving our schools. And shout out to Marisol, as she mentioned, right? Why is homeschooling so important? I know, I promise I tell Alfred, I'm taking all my grandkids, like, where they going? They can't come here. But thinking about why is homeschooling important, right? I recall my eldest grandchild going to school, and they came back with the story, right? It was Black History Month. Y'all know it's Black History Month every month. It's Negro Day every day at my house.
Mirror. Look at my mirror said it.
Yeah, listen, it's Negro Day every day. But the challenge was, I said, you know, Harriet Tubman had a gun? Because the version that they teaching them is she was docile. She got knocked upside the head. She didn't have no sense. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that it was life or death. And so it's going to be you or me. And so when we have Black history lessons, right? Talk to them about Malcolm and Martin coming to the fullness of their own, putting them in rooms where they could hear other names that we don't even know about, right? We think about Henrietta Lacks and the lawsuit that was just settled. That woman been dead for I don't even know how many years, that we talked about, that they did not think it was robbery to steal the cells of a Black woman. Come on. When I said we the blueprint, I meant that thing. They took that woman's cells and turned it all the way around, that now We have vaccines. We've got cures for different things because of what it is. When we think of the gynecology profession, right? Think about all of the things. Where did the pap smear come from? They took Black women, they took women of different cultures and were like, we gonna test on y'all with no anesthesia.
Right.
We gonna make it simple for y'all. And so now we can't even go to the doctor because our doctors are trained. Oh, we must lie about our pain. And so they treat us that way, right? So when we say we tired, that's why. Why does it have to be our blood spilled so that you can advance? Why does it have to be that you believe that we are able to be tortured versus this the reason why, Sheem, I'm snatching the soft life? Because what they want to give is not soft. It is survival, right? And we're going to survive. I will survive.
Listen,
all of the things. However,
what they wanted to do was to break us.
Right.
You know, to break us as a nation, to break us as the original people mentally. Because here's the deal. If you take us away from our originations and the knowledge of who we truly are.
Come on now.
You know, not for nothing. They stole her cells and they made medicine. They made magic. Baby, there's magic in the melanin and they know it. You know, one of the songs that I like to hum on one of my drives is one of Erykah Badu's On and On. And one of the lyrics is, those intellects don't believe in God, but they fear us just the same. So for us, it's like we're living the fear of the Black man, fear of a Black planet every single day, because somebody in that upper room of power that sits down with the suppression plan and, you know, helps with its implementation has the knowledge that we really are the head and not the tail. We really are kings and queens outside of the ratchet foolishness that they tend to lean towards broadcasting on your major media airwaves. We really are the royal ones. We are the thought leaders of origination. Come on, mathematics.
Right. And the crazy part is that's the proof that we are at war constantly.
Constantly. And it is bigger than just Iran, Israel, and the divided states of America.
And that's why we got the ancestors right here with us. In spirit, you know what I'm saying? In the blood.
Ancestor strong. Ancestor
strong.
That's right.
And no, for anybody who might be listening and be like, oh, they over there worshiping the ancestors. No, it's called ancestral veneration, baby. It's okay to acknowledge where you came from.
Absolutely.
It is okay.
You know why? You know why it's great to acknowledge the people who came before you? Because there's so many people that tell you not to.
Facts. There's power.
Anytime somebody tell you don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, you have to question it. You know what I'm saying? You have to question it. And you know what's so funny when you mentioned Harriet Tubman, something stood out to me when I thought about it. It was like she tried it the regular way.
She did.
Saved up her money to buy her freedom. And then here comes this Black man. And she thought love and her freedom was gonna go together. And that Black man showed his Black hand side, stole her wealth, and she had to make a decision. I don't have that many more years to work to build that kind of money again. So I'm gonna have to take this freedom that I want. And let me tell you something, just the thought of that, knowing you could die, knowing everybody with you could die, and you say, you know what? Let's go for it, y'all, because this ain't it. And it was so, I mean, her story is just amazing. But there's so many others that have made it that has not been written about.
That's right.
And that's why we got to remember them, because they all work together. Like when you look at, I was saying on a live the other day, and I was talking about music, and I said, you know, all them years ago when there was like a Marvin Gaye, and they were what's my man name, like Otis Redding, and all these guys. This was a time where they had friends and family.
True.
Who was in the studio with them, who loaned them some money, helped pay the rent, helped put gas in the car, that we don't know about them people. We only know about the name that went up in lights.
That's true.
And all of them people that was in our concerts, those were our family members at those concerts. And they know them people personally. They met them. They shook their hands. Some of them went to school with them. Some of them, you know what I mean? So it was amazing because I was saying, like, today is tomorrow's history.
Absolutely.
So today, as we all live together on this planet, we need to know each other, hug each other, talk to each other, laugh with each other. And yeah, some of us will have the names in lights and history. It won't matter because God don't care nothing about that. But guess what? We are here together. So let's make the best of this lifetime that we have together and make it strong and enjoy it and love on the generation that we can. You know what I mean? Because we tomorrow's history. We tomorrow's history. You know what I mean?
Words of wisdom from the Dream Coach. We love it. We love it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Great conversation tonight, y'all.
Do they got any questions in the chat?
I don't know. Marisol, I see you up there. You got any questions for RKP tonight? You got any questions for Coach Cash tonight? Anybody else out there in the listening audience?
Look, hold on. Look, I got some questions over here.
Uh-oh. He pulling up his glasses again. Uh-oh.
There you go.
He wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it go.
Let's see. What was the thing? Here's a question. Did you parent your children from a place of healing or from unprocessed trauma?
Come on, you know the answer to that already. You know us.
I'm healing now.
Take me to the king.
Now listen.
He said, I'm healing now.
I'm healing right now. You know what? Because this is the thing, right? Probably 10 years ago, we didn't have a language for this, right? So I'm gonna bring this to the forefront, right? I watched the clip, and I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube, wherever it was. Shout out to the actor Clifton Powell, you know, the chocolate brother. And it was a all men's
smile with the pretty smile. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was an all men's table, right? And he could play a bad guy, like for real. But one of the things that he mentioned that stuck with me, and I don't know why it's just coming in my mind, but it stuck with me, was he was saying in his 60s, he just learned how to love himself, right? That means for 60 plus years, he probably was loving everybody else wrong, right? Dogging them out, doing well. I don't know his story, so allegedly, because you ain't coming for me. I got $5 and I'm keeping it. Okay, but allegedly, that was the story. And the women are, dogging them out. Oh, it's your responsibility. You need to know, take the accountability for your emotional stability. 10 years ago, we didn't have the language for this, right? Many of us, I'm going to say many of us didn't have the language to say, was I emotionally available, right? I put food on that table for them kids. They didn't die, right? Wasn't that the goal? For some of us, that was what we were taught was the goal was. Many men of a certain age and of his age, you were considered a good man if you just came home, right? Come home, pay some bills, not even all the bills. Just come home and pay some bills. Now, here you go. Here go your good man certificate. The reason why I struggle with hearing women bashing that is that it doesn't come from a place of empathy. Now, I get it. We the ones that got dogged out, right? It was us. We got carried at. Whew, and that's why some of this stuff is heavy. But for our Black brothers, right, they also had to carry some things that they didn't know that they were taking us out with friendly fire. They maybe. Some of y'all pimps was pimping and y'all knew what y'all was doing. But there are a large majority of gentlemen who did not have the language to say, I don't know how to hold you better, right? I got to have you over here and somebody else over there because I don't know about this emotional security that to provide you. I don't know how to sit in one place to be, right? I ain't going to get into your segment, Keita, but I don't know how to be here for another woman, and then that kind of turns up, and we're like, oh, men are dogs, and they not this, they not. We gotta sit around sometimes and ask, because here's the one thing about a dog: they usually got a trainer.
Boom.
It ain't my time for my purpose and purpose, but have we as women been seated in our positions and training these so-called men or dogs to be less than the thing that we needed? Church finger, passing.
I got to add to that. I had that conversation. You made the reference to men being dogs. I had a conversation with one of my very good male friends about this years ago. And I was sharing with him how my brother got angry with me because I used that term, men are dogs. Brother got pissed off. But my good friend, he said, no, you're right. All men are dogs. And that, to what you said, Karen, he said, it's just how you train your dog. All dogs have a trainer. And get this, some dogs are never trained. Some dogs are just wandering around in varying alleys and ain't got no kind of couth about not the you know what I'm saying? Listen, not every dog has a trainer. So a lot of them don't know.
I'm gonna put a spin on it.
What's up?
When you're a young boy, 2 or 3, right? Your mama dress you up, make you look all nice. And all the girls, all the older women go, oh, look at him, so cute. He's so cute. And they're like, I know, right? He cute, little fine self, souping his head all up, right? So cute, girl. When he get big, he gonna be fun. Girl, he gonna be a problem when he get big. Girl, he gonna be there. Now, as this little boy start meeting other little boys, the little boys' conversations with each other are, man, don't no girls want you. You don't get no girls. You don't get no girls. And they set the stage as, if you don't have girls, plural, you're not even cool. If the girls ain't looking at you, oh, you got one girl? What is that? You're not that. So now you have mama who dressed and get the haircut every week and so sharp, 2 years old. Why? I don't know. You know what I mean? Braided all up, so greased up more than her head. He's so decked out. You get him locked into the looks and appearance. You got the friends saying, you got to be this, you got to, and then as you grow with that from middle school, more girls, you ain't got no girls. High school, you ain't got no girls. So now you out of high school, you a player because you was trying to be so cool to your friends. You was trying to be, but.
Oh, he was preaching in his swing way.
So good.
He was getting it. But he don't come right back, I'm sure. He got to plug in something, I'm sure. Yes, but on the other side, it's interesting enough. He's talking about how the mothers grew, rear the boys to be trapped into a look. It's funny because I actually experienced this in a conversation with an older gentleman recently, who said to me, I've never been the one to talk to a natural woman. Because he was always of the thought that a woman is supposed to look a certain way. Right. If they don't have the long weave, if they don't have their nails done, right. He was given a perception of what the standard of Black beauty was supposed to be. And then you run into something like me, cute as ever with her natural curls. And now you wonder, what is it about her? She don't have a 30-inch bust down. No, I don't.
That part.
I prefer whatever inches I decide to keep it.
Because today, going tomorrow.
I'll call Barbie and be like, "Can you taper that down?"
Marisol, we're following you. We following you.
All right, he came back. We knew
it was good.
That's because it was too much information and power being shared on the line. That's always happens. But go ahead.
Come on back in there. Can't hit your audience.
You here? We see you. We hear you.
We see you. Can you hear us? Nope.
I don't hear.
We see. Can you hear us?
The phone rang.
Hello. All right, I'm gonna take him off. He can give us the thumbs up when you ready.
When you can hear us. Or just put them on mute. Let them be there on screen.
Okay. Can you hear us?
I can hear y'all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, we can see you. You back.
All right, there we go. Gee, Weezy. Okay. So I left off. That was somebody calling my phone. When it calls, it knocked me right off the thing.
Wow.
So, okay, so you got mama souping you up as a little boy. You got middle school, high school, all your friends saying you need multiple girls to be cool. Then you meet this girl, and because you got multiple girls, you break this one girl's heart. And when you break that one girl's heart, she lets you have it. She give you the truth. You a dog, you this, you that, you this, that. And you're like, but that's all I learned.
That's all I learned.
And what am I supposed to be? Because they told me this from the beginning. I had to be cool to have this.
Follow the rule. I followed the rule.
Right. So now, like, okay, and then you got to relearn everything. I remember Malcolm said that in that movie. He said, before I can teach you anything, I have to get rid of everything you learned.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get rid of all the bad. And now let me give you the good. So it's interesting because, like you said, what's the name said? Clifton Powell said it when he was 60. And it's an interesting part of life how God allows you to mature and learn more as you evolve. You know what I mean? As you get older. And it's the same thing like fruit being bare. Like the tree can grow and you can't eat nothing off of it until it actually bears some good fruit. You know? It takes a while to get there. You know what I mean?
It does.
Go try to chew on a banana tree before the bananas get there and tell me how it tastes.
That part. Marisol got a question in the comment streets, right? She's saying, is it that or is it that there's too many to choose from? So we got a lot of women out here who
look at that smile on that man's face.
Who will perpetuate, right? Who will perpetuate what it is. So
let me tell you something. It's a lot of looks to choose from, but it's not a lot of qualities to choose from. It's not a lot of people with great moral compasses, great appreciation for even having a man in a relationship. You know, you get the girls that been single for a long time and they have to take the garbage out, hang the pictures up, fix the leak, change the flat, and then they go, man, I wish I had a man. You know, they can appreciate some of the things that some women have right now, but they just don't like just supposed to be what you're supposed to do. You know, I think when people, all right, I'll tell you like this. Somebody asked me a long time ago, what keeps a good marriage? And my answer was, when my goal is to make her happy and her goal is to make me happy, we're going to be good.
That's a fact.
We're going to be good. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to have patience. I'm going to be like, oh, that ain't making her happy. I got to figure that out. Let me change that up. You like that? Is that better? Oh, all right, that's cool. You like that? All right, boom. And she do the same with me, we're going to be good. But as soon as a person says, you know what? I got to think about myself, it's over. It's over. It's over. Isn't that one? Because when that person think about themselves, they are no longer thinking about you.
It's a wrap. It's a
rizap.
It's a wrap.
So check it out. Rasheem, thank you so much for taking that mic toss so gracefully tonight. You handled that. You did that. And I look forward to sitting in with you again next month, sir. Mm-hmm. You'll be back.
Listen. Let me tell y'all something. Some of those questions I gave y'all, that is going to be something when I do interview each one of you individually on my podcast. The world is listening.
Okay.
It comes with, listen, all I'm coming with is deepness.
Well, we ready with some of the answers, but check it out. I'm looking at the clock, and we about to get kicked out the school because the hall monitor is down the way. Said, wrap that up, B. Go wrap that up. So I gotta go ahead and segue into my most favorite segment of every single show, every single week. I like some soul nourishment. I need to be watered by my Pisces friend. So check it out, y'all. Get it together and get ready to receive this week's reflection of purpose from our very own in-house certified master life coach, Coach Cash herself of Twisted Threads LLC. Coach Cash, you ready, boo?
I'm ready. You did listen, stay ready so we don't got to get ready. That be the line. So today I want to give a reminder. We talked a lot and we started at the top of the hour talking about family. And so today's title is Hold Them Close. Hold them close. We see a lot of different things going on in the world. I think, our guest this evening talked a little bit about holding the hands of those children when they out and about, and understand the message that is sent when a family unit operates as a family unit is crazy out here in the world. But it's so powerful that I wanted to take the opportunity and the time, not just because my family is in the house, like literally right now, and it's a little bit too quiet, so I might be nervous. I don't know if they killed each other or if they just all getting along. I'm not really sure. But in 10 minutes or less, I'm going to find out. Hold them close, because many of our matriarchs, I'm going on 10 years of celebrating my mom's transition. And I say celebrating because there were certain lessons that I couldn't learn until she departed, until she exited this earth. And then, my goodness, the lessons that have been learned in the last 10 years. But when we are holding our family close, holding our family, those friends that are now family, right? We get to make the choices of who's within our family unit, who's within our support system, who's in our tribe. We talk about that here all the time on Unhinged. But I want to remind you, hold them close. We see the reports, right? Gas prices already going up. Ain't nothing but about somebody being greedy. We still using last week's gas. So how the gas price go up?
I'm sorry.
However, as those gas prices go up, make sure you hold your family close. Hold those loved ones. Our elders are getting up in age. Make sure you glean the time with them to hear the oral stories, right? The oral history that they are carrying around. I found out some things today because it's still Black History Month. For those of y'all who don't know, 365 every day. Till this stuff wipe off, y'all gonna get all of me. Holding them close also allows you the opportunity to learn about the history that never made it into anybody's books, the names that have never been called. And some of that ancestry is right in your family. I'm preparing to take some time next week because my best friend said 31 days of Karen. So we're going to celebrate all 31. I think we got 39 to 29 more days to celebrate. And during that time, I'm going to take the opportunity to read some writings from an ancestor that is a great grandfather to me. And knowing, when we say, show them who you are, you can't know who you are until you hold them close and are held close by those who mean the most to you, right? Some of that's y'all right here in this tribe. That's y'all who come on these times every week. You know that it's coming and you support us and we appreciate you. And so we're holding you close, but we want to remind you, do that for your family, your kids, your grandkids, your husbands, your wives, those that you say you love. Don't leave them out there. One of the things that we know about Rasheem, it doesn't matter where he is. He's one of those man's men, right? I say that in a way that he don't care who you are. He has a protector spirit. So if we somewhere, be like, okay, wait a minute, hold up. Because, if I got to cover both of y'all, that means one got to be here and one got to be there. And if it's 4 of us, that means all y'all. So we know what to do in those areas 90% of the time as tribes. But when you hold them close, you get the updated language so you can work through your trauma, so that you can work from a place of not staying in dysfunction, but a place to go from trauma to healing. And so we want to remind you, hold them close, gather the oral stories, and then meet us back here the next time we come live, because we might be needing to hear from you about your story, about the thing that you overcame, and for us to see you thriving, not just surviving. Tilted. That's all I wanted to say today. So I'm going to throw it right back at you. Hold them close.
That's good. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm trying to tell you, listen, so much has been shared. And I got to take us out with this just be outro. And I've been on a different vibe lately, and we've been bringing the scriptures back into the conversation because they're very necessary. Many of us were brought up in the foundational faiths of one of the top 3, and as I enjoy looking into the different holy books, my foundation starts at the biblications, okay, the Bible. Those scriptures took me into the Torah. They took me into the Apocrypha. And as we were sitting here tonight and, the conversation flowed the way it did, that one scripture came to mind, 2 Timothy 1:7, that reminds us of this, that God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. He hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. So if I was to encourage you to just be anything this week, I would encourage you to just be powerful and stand in your greatness. We see so much going on. We hear of wars, we hear of rumors of wars, we hear of inflationary gas prices, we hear of crooked politicians, we hear of the Epstein files. We hear of different things going on in the halls of Hollywood, in the halls of even your local county offices. Listen, just be powerful, and be powerful beyond your wildest imaginations. Be powerful enough to do that thing that you were once afraid to do. We spoke so much in this conversation, and my thought just went back to a lot of the things and the systems that have been put into place have been put there to keep us in a broken state of mind. But I would encourage you, again, as I mentioned, many of us came up within the 3 major world faiths. Tap into your power, because I guarantee you are going to find a word that will literally become the wind beneath your wings to help catapult you into your next. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what it feels like. Another one of my favorite scriptures tells me not to be afraid of the arrow by day, right? Or the terror at night. Listen, I'm powerful, and the Spirit of God rests in me. So that means I'm capable of doing anything but failing. And guess what? If I fail in my humanity and in my limited human nature, guess what? I'm going to fail forward and take the lesson and use it to repurpose it into something powerful, purposeful, and powerful at that. So stand in your power and just know that you are, because God really did create you to just be. It's your girl, Tilted Halo. And I'm sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell, Twisted Threads LLC. And we got our brother, our coach, the one again that tells us, girl, get it together. RKP, Rasheem Kilo Pugh. Save the Arts TV.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any last
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Karen got to go, so we got to get out of here before the family jump in the room and we get to.
Y'all gonna see something in the frame y'all may not want to see. I'm just saying.
All right, y'all. I'm out.
All right. Until next time, y'all. We out.